Course in Miracles, Lesson 14, January 18th, 2021. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today is, of course, the reason why a meaningless world is impossible. What God did not create does not exist, and everything that does exist exists as He created it. The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist. The exercises for today are to be practiced with eyes closed throughout. The mind-searching period should be short, a minute at most. Do not have more than 3 practice periods with today's idea unless you find them comfortable. If you do, it will be because you really understand what they are for. The idea for today is another step in learning to let go the thoughts which you have written on the world, and see the Word of God in their place. The early steps in this exchange, which can truly be called salvation, can be quite difficult and even quite painful. Some of them will lead you directly into fear. You will not be left there. You will go far beyond it. Our direction is toward perfect safety and perfect peace. With eyes closed, think of all the horrors in the world that cross your mind. Name each one as it occurs to you, and then deny its reality. God did not create it, and so it is not real. Say, for example, God did not create that war, and so it is not real. God did not create that airplane crash, and so it is not real. God did not create that disaster, specify it, and so it is not real. Suitable subjects for the application of today's idea also include anything you are afraid might happen to you or to anyone about whom you are concerned. In each case, name the disaster quite specifically. Do not use general terms. See one second. Do not use general terms. For example, do not say, God did not create illness, but God did not create cancer or heart attacks or whatever may arouse fear in you. This is your personal repertory of horrors at which you are looking. These things are part of the world you see. Some of them are shared illusions and others are part of your personal hell. It does not matter. What God did not create can only be in your own mind, apart from His. Therefore, it has no meaning. In recognition of this fact, conclude the practice periods by repeating today's idea. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today can, of course, be applied to anything that disturbs you during the day, aside from the practice periods. Be very specific in applying it. Say, God did not create a meaningless world. He did not create. Specify the situation which is disturbing you, and so it is not real. So in a live stream this morning, I talked about 2 of the 5 agreements. Do not take anything personally, and do not make assumptions. So let's say I think someone is angry with me or hates me, just to round off, any kind of a thing to, oh, this person hates me. Okay, God did not create a meaningless world. God did not create that hatred for me, and so it is not real. So in using the idea for today, where God did not create this frustration with me, and so it is not real. So in that way, I can apply the lesson for today. At the same time, I get to more deeply experience the second agreement of do not take anything personally, and the third agreement of do not make assumptions. So if somebody's in a crappy mood and they lash out at me, they could be having an issue on their all on their own. It has nothing to do with me. And what people tend to do, because we're the center, I'm the center of my own universe. So if somebody's yelling at me, they're mad, or they're a jerk or something. Instead of they just broke, and they could be the nicest person in the world, but I caught them at this moment where I want an answer to something, and they're like, just hold on a second. It's like, whoa, and so in that moment that they just kind of are trying to create space with an action, whether they're yelling at me or short with me or angry, and I tell everybody, don't forget that these people have been wearing masks for a year now, practically, almost a whole year, and I don't know how anyone else does with a mask, but I do not do well with a mask. I don't do well. My mind doesn't work. I forget things at the grocery store. I sense a little bit of panic, I sense anxiety in me when I have a mask on. I feel like I can't breathe. Someone says, well, it's all in your mind. Well, so is everything. Everything's in your mind. So I don't feel like I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like this is weird. This is not right. There's a deep level in the reptilian brain that this is not normal. This is scary. And not scary because of a virus for me, but scary that people just so quickly just don't question it. And there are people getting arrested for trying to open businesses when you see all these politicians, like all these videos and photos of them not wearing masks. It's like, well, what do they know? Like, so, and if it's masks today, what's tomorrow? What's next? Anyway, so masks give some of us anxiety. So if we're used to higher vibrations of freedom and joy, and we're in higher vibrations most of the time, we're not so worried about sickness because we've been around people who are sick and we don't get it because our vibrations are high, and we activate all strands of DNA available to me now, and we cycle our immune system, and we eat anti-inflammatory foods, and we drink enough water, and we rest, and so we don't worry about that kind of thing, or we don't have comorbidities, like this. When we have something, we work towards healing and get that stuff off of our plate. So for some of us, we're walking around a much higher vibration that putting on a mask actually lowers our vibration. So anyway, using today's idea, God did not create a meaningless world. He did not create this fear in me or this anxiety in me, so it's not real. And so it is not real. God did not create a meaningless world. God did not create this fear in me or this anxiety in me. God did not create this low vibration in me. So it is not real. So apply it inside and outside. So as it is inside, so it is outside. So whatever work you clear internally, it makes your external world clearer, and vice versa. So January 18th, we have like tens of thousands of troops down in Washington, D.C. And that's unusual. So that's something you can use, and you can look at that and say, God did not create a scary world, and so it is not real. And relax your belly. So as you're saying these things, and as you're doing these exercises, watch your physical body. Where is there tension? Where is there discomfort? Because your body's going to show you where there is unease, dis-ease, but unease. Okay, so again, I just want to keep saying thanks for watching these, and thanks for following along, and thanks for doing these. The Course in Miracles, although it's very religious and it's all about God, seeing, correcting your sight, more in line with the sight of God, where basically Tao Some say Tao, but it's Tao. For me, that's what I say. And I used to hang out with Korean people, and it's still a T, it's just a hard T. So anyway, that's what I say, the Tao. The Tao is the same thing. Just like we say Mexico instead of Mexico. Anyway, Tao. Nothing's good or bad, it just is. Zen. Zen short story. This happened. Oh, that's such bad luck, maybe. Oh, that's such good luck, maybe. Oh, that's such bad luck, maybe. Oh, that's such good luck, maybe. So I also call it zooming out, but it's gaining a broader perspective. And if you think about the blind men and the elephant parable, all these people, all the blind men, it's a Chinese parable, touching an elephant, all different spots. And the person touching the ears is going to have a different experience than the person touching the tusk, or the tail, or the foot, or the body. So they have different experiences, and they start fighting over what they're feeling. So the people touching the tusk are yelling at the people that are touching the tail. I'm like, no, that's not true. And so you've got all these people sharing their experience. And it's not until all the blind men stop yelling at the other people and just start listening to their piece of the elephant that they can put the picture of the elephant together. And that's if people keep yelling at each other. I don't consider myself in mainstream. You can think that's arrogant, but I think if I joined the mainstream fight, then I wouldn't be any good to anybody. I wouldn't have a grounding to Mother Earth and heaven. If I don't even have an inclination, but if I did, I would be no better. I would be no healthier than the people I see fighting now with each other. All this hatred. That's why I love the expression, when you point the finger at someone else, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. And I hear people say, oh, the reason that we're not evolving is because these people are so hateful. Who? Do you know them? No. You've been told about this group. There's this imaginary group in your mind. And I actually did cry a year or 2 ago with an intuitive healer who believes, it was after the Nick Salmon thing, and this intuitive healer believed that the red MAGA hat is the same as a white KKK hood. Even though black people wear it, and then you have all these people believing that, oh, these are all Trump supporters doing this, doing that. I'm like, you know that you can buy those hats, like, anywhere, right? You know you can buy a flag anywhere. You know, I could dress up as I love my joke, I could dress up as a Miami Dolphins football player and then go berserk in a Home Depot. Are you going to say, oh man, this Miami Dolphins football player just went nuts? No. I'm a 50-year-old woman from the suburbs. Just because I dress up in a Miami Dolphins t-shirt doesn't mean I am a Miami Dolphins football player. It's the level of stupidity is just, it's off the chart. And so I'm not angry. I could see this coming. I used to be worried that people were going to think that I'm on a side. And so I was so scared to speak. And I'm not scared anymore because it's just too stupid out there. And if anybody thinks I'm on a side and that they're not listening to me, that's okay, because there's people who do understand me, and there are people who think that a red MAGA hat is only worn by Trump supporters and they are equal to racists. That's just so stupid, I can't even stand it. So I don't care if those people don't like me anymore. I don't mind. I can allow them their reality because they're really suffering. I see those people suffering right now. And I know there's a lot with the 2 realities fully formed, 2 completely fully formed realities. And there is hate on both sides, but it's understandable if you listen to what they say. Now, I don't condone the hatred, but I understand it. And so, by understanding it and practicing loving everybody on both sides, that gives me compassion. So I have compassion, love plus understanding, for all the people fighting and hating each other right now. But I will not accept the excuse of someone who makes claims about other groups that are hateful, and they won't take the responsibility of their own hatred for hating these hate groups. It's like, if you're hating, you're part of the problem, and I won't hear anything else. I'm not available. If you want to be like, no, it's not me, it's them. I get that. I get enough of that from my 2 children. Okay, he started it. No, she started it. No, he started it. No, she started it. I get enough. Okay, so I'm not available for grown-ups' tantrums. I have to be available for my children's tantrums, not other adults. So I'm not going to listen when someone says, oh, it's them. What do you mean? Well, they're the hateful ones. Okay, so how do you feel about them? Well, I hate them. But I'm righteous in my hatred because they're hateful, so I'm righteous. No, there's no such thing as righteous hatred. And there's no such thing as virtuous fear. Okay, no such thing as virtuous fear. But let me tell you what's happening. My husband's been going into this place to get coffee without a mask for a while now. It's this tiny little place, and the guy talked to him today, came up to him today, and said, look, you gotta wear a mask. So my husband said, okay. So tonight I said, he told me what happened. He's not upset. He's like, he totally understands. It's a business owner. He's not going to mess around with this guy. Good night, babe. I don't know why I whispered. So I said, I'm live streaming every morning, 6 a.m. to 6:30. I can make us coffee. So now, my husband was trying to, patronize places, keep people, because he luckily has important work, whatever, essential work. And he kept the lawnmowers, he paid people to mow the lawn. He kept them going all summer. He's like, we're not changing anything. These people have families to feed too. Okay, so he was patronizing this place to, give this person a little money, every day consistently. Keep it going. He was just keeping everything normal. And now my husband has to change. Some change. He has to make a choice. He's either got to start wearing a mask to get the coffee, or he can start having coffee with me. Now, I think it's great. He's going to start having coffee with me. And so it's just a change. When you put a board in the river, if a fast-moving river, slow-moving river, when you put a big board in the river, the water doesn't complain. It doesn't bitch. It goes around the board. That's the top. That's the way of water. So my husband had to accept a change in the current way he's doing things. So now he either has to put on a mask or have coffee with me. So nothing's good, nothing's bad. It just is. And everything that I see right now, I completely expected. And I'm not the only little healer in the world that expected to be right where we are now. A lot of things are, there's a lot of videos going around. I don't even have to do any work because people I know that I've helped see what is happening, they're all sending me things. It's plenty because they have found good sources, whatever. So I'm actually enjoying this time. I hope you are too. And I hope that you're getting something out of A Course in Miracles, but use everything. Everything inside, everything outside. Your life is not forever. This is going to be, if you live this section of your life right, you will look back and go, wow, that was awesome. That was so amazing. And so I hope that you can all do that because you all deserve it. All of you deserve to be able to look back and go, I calmed and centered my whole way through that fucking ordeal. I calmed and centered my way through 2020, 2021, 2022, and it just got easier and easier and easier. And people were suffering with mindsets of victimhood, I was working on raising my vibration to my own empowerment. And this is it's an incredible time of growth. It's an incredible period of growth. And I just really hope that you sink your teeth into this and you calm and center the crap out of yourself and you relax and we will see. We will see what happens. Now, you should have food by now. You should have water by now. You should have, enough supplies for, I kept saying 2 weeks. Now I'm feeling like, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days, 3 months supply. I'm not really worried about it. Because, what happens, it's like Mr. Magoo at the construction site. You think he's falling off the, metal crossbar or whatever, and then another pipe comes along. It's like, it's really about your vibration, and then the experience provides itself through your vibration. So I have to go to the grocery store sometimes. It lowers my vibration, so I make I make less trips, but I get more stuff. So it's just a change, and I hope you're finding your way through this. All right. So this is the 2-week mark. God did not create a meaningless world. God did not create that war, and so it is not real. God did not create that airplane crash, and so it is not real. God did not create that specific disaster, and so it is not real. So this also, last thing I want to say is this also lines up with Christian Science, not Scientology, Christian Science. There is no life, truth, intelligence, or substance in matter. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation. So I used to have allergies, and they would knock me out for 2 weeks straight. I would be wiped out, and and flying an airplane when you have allergies is like tired. It's tough, and your head gets blocked up, the altitude and all that. So coming down from altitude, I should say, and man, it's annoying. I said to my teachers, can I get rid of allergies? And they said, yes. And I said, how? And they said, you will figure it out. And I was like, oh, come on. So then I went to this Christian Science church, and I heard this, everybody there was old. I was the youngest person by far. And so I went there, and they were like, this old lady was saying, oh, yeah, my son has allergies, and she rolls her eyes. We all know about allergies, and she rolls her eyes. And so I meditated and prayed about it, and I came up with this idea. And if you have cancer or you have some other disease, you can try and see if this works for you. I closed my eyes at night, and I imagined that there was all these physical bodies that looked exactly like mine. And I walked up to each one, and I checked it for allergies to make sure that it had no sickness. Like, oh, this one has that, this one has that. And I found a body that was perfect and healthy, perfectly healthy, 100% healthy. And I took my consciousness out of the body that I was in. I imagined taking my consciousness out of the body I was in and shoving it in to the body that was perfect. And every time I felt a little tingle in my nose, or my eyes were puffy, or I kept forcing my consciousness. I used that as a way to say there's more consciousness left in the old body that has allergies. So you don't forget this piece, don't forget this piece, don't forget this piece. Keep putting, if you keep becoming aware of the allergies or whatever, keep putting it in the new body, in the new body, in the new body. I don't know how long I did that, maybe an hour, but that was all it took, because I woke up the next day and I didn't have allergies. I didn't even think about allergies until the very next day. So 2 days later, I saw one of the mechanics at the weather computer, and he looked like hell, and I was like, whoa, you went out drinking last night? And he said, no, I got allergies. And I was like, oh my God, my allergies are gone. So, life is fun. It doesn't matter what's happening. And this video is long enough, and I'll see you tomorrow. But use everything for this. In the new paradigm, with the highest vibration, you're going to be able to manifest things faster than you ever dreamed. And your highest best is the highest best, because what your highest best looks like is your highest vibration is you in service to others as you serve yourself. So it's a perfect system, because what makes you the happiest is what will make all the people around you the happiest too. Not just your family, not just your parents, but the way you serve when you're happy makes everybody that you serve happy. So this system is perfect. It's so perfect. What did you say, Donna? Donna said, she said something like, well, I say, God, I'm your hands in the world, which I got from Carolyn May. She says, you don't have to worry about how do I fit in or what do I do. Just say, God, I'm your hands in the world. Put me where you want me. So I say, God, I'm your hands in the world. Put me where you want me. Let it be easy. Oh, and Donna just goes like this. God's hands. God's hands. So have fun in your life, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Thank you for doing this.